I never thought my security camera would catch the president of our HOA standing in my kitchen digging through my drawers like she owned the place. But there she was, Vivian Price, blonde bob blazer too tight for her ego, claiming she had emergency environmental authority. And the best part, I wasn't even home. My K-9 unit was. The day started normal enough. I was 20 miles out in Willow Creek stacking feed bags in the back of my truck when my phone buzzed. Motion detected. I tapped the screen and my stomach dropped. The live feed showed Vivian marching through my house, clipboard in hand, rifling through my kitchen like a home inspector from hell. She didn't knock, didn't call, didn't even hesitate, just walked right in. She was saying something about chemical contamination, her voice sharp and entitled, echoing off my tile backsplash. I watched her pull open a drawer, toss a spatula aside, then another. My hand froze halfway to the cart. I whispered, "You've got to be kidding me." Then the second camera mounted above the pantry caught movement. Bane. My retired working dog, 70 pounds of disciplined muscle and calm precision. He stepped into frame, head low, ears up, posture perfect. You could see the exact moment she realized she wasn't alone. Her whole body stiffened like the air got too tight for her lungs. "This is an official emergency inspection," she barked at him. Bane didn't flinch. He doesn't bark, doesn't snarl, he just owns the room. That's the kind of presence you can't fake. I hit the mic and spoke low. "Ma'am, you are being recorded. Sit down at the table. Keep your hands where my dog can see them." The click of my remote deadbolt echoed through the speaker. Containment mode. Her face cracked. She grabbed for the door, found it locked, turned panicked. Bane shifted just one subtle step, blocking her path. You could almost hear her heartbeat through the camera. "Sit," I repeated. She hesitated, then yanked a badge from her jacket. "I have jurisdiction under Township Code Section 41. She said it like a magic spell that might make my dog vanish. Bane tilted his head. I couldn't help but smirk. Through the kitchen window, my neighbor Patty's phone glinted in the sun she was filming. Patty's got a sixth sense for HOA nonsense. I told the store clerk to hold my purchase and bolted for my truck. My pulse didn't spike. It dropped. That cold, quiet focus you get when it's not time to panic, it's time to act. By the time I hit this driveway, the county marshal's SUV had already pulled up. Rivera stepped out, calm, broad-shouldered voice, steady as bedrock. "Afternoon, ma'am," he said. "County marshal. Hands where I can see them. The K-9 has the room." Vivian lifted her chin. "I'm conducting an emergency environmental inspection. Contamination event." Rivera's eyebrow twitched. "Do you have a warrant or a verified emergency order from the State Environmental Department?" She fished out a fancy-looking folder, embossed logo and all. "Go Home Solutions. Rapid Response Division," it read. Rivera took it, squinted, dialed the number. The line rang, then clicked to a voicemail tree that sounded like a discount call center. He looked up at her deadpan. "Never heard of this department, and I've been in this county 15 years. She tried another angle, her voice went soft, sweet even. "Good boy," she said to Bane, reaching out a hand. "I'm not here to hurt anything." Bane didn't move. He's trained to read intent, not tone. His tail didn't wag. His eyes didn't blink. That silence was louder than any growl. When I walked through the door, Rivera gave me the smallest nod. Vivian was pale, hands trembling, trying to explain herself. I stood across from her, arms crossed, and said, "You broke into my house, Vivian. You scared my dog. You want to explain that to the county." She stuttered something about protecting the community. Rivera cut in, flipping her fake credentials. "Your HOA can tell people to mow their lawns. It can't grant you the right to enter private property." We escorted her out. Rivera handed her a trespass warning, told her she'd better expect a visit from state investigators. I thought that would be the end of it. But in neighborhoods like ours, gossip spreads faster than justice. The next morning, the flyers appeared. Every mailbox, every lamppost. A grainy picture of Bane in his vest, circled in red under the headline, "Dangerous Military Dog Patrolling Local Farms." My stomach twisted. The same people who'd once waved at us now crossed the street. Parents pulled their kids closer. I could feel the distrust bleeding into the air. Even Patty stopped posting updates. Vivian had turned the narrative overnight. I tried to shrug it off at first, told myself the truth would win, but the whispers got louder. HOA board meetings turned into interrogations. People started questioning whether Bain should even be allowed on the property. It felt like losing gravity in your own home. One night I caught myself looking at him lying by the door, ears twitching in his sleep, and thinking maybe I should retire him. Maybe that would calm everyone down. The thought hurt more than I expected. This dog had served beside me, saved lives overseas, and now because one woman wanted control, he was being painted as a monster. A week later, the town hall meeting. Vivian stood at the front like she was unveiling a statue, her voice syrupy and commanding. "We can't allow militarized animals to endanger our community," she said. People nodded. Cameras clicked. It felt like a setup. Then old Mr. Hollis stood up from the back. "Farmer 80 if he's a day." Moved slow, talked slower. He carried a small cloth bag, walked right up to the table and pulled out a spray bottle. 2 months ago, he said, Ms. Price told me my pasture was leaking chemicals. Said she could smell it. Came back 3 times with witnesses. Told me I was a danger to the watershed. I panicked. I signed her papers. Signed. He held up the bottle. "This morning your dog sniffed my fence line and sat right here." He sniffed this bottle and sat again. "You know what that means?" Rivera took it, sniffed cautiously, then frowned. "Smells like ammonia and citrus oil. Nothing hazardous, just enough to stink up the place." Vivian's face lost its color. I saw the crack in her confidence. But even after that, the damage didn't stop. Someone painted "Killer Dog" across my barn in dripping red letters. Another neighbor edited security footage to make it look like Bain lunged at a man. The smear campaign had legs, and I started to feel like no amount of truth could outrun the lie. I remember sitting on the porch that night, beer in hand, Bain's head on my knee. The moon was bright, the air quiet. "Maybe she wins," I muttered. "Maybe they take you away and she wins." Bain just looked up at me with those calm, steady eyes like he knew something I didn't. A few days later, Rivera called. "We've got something," he said. "Federal environmental investigators have seen this before, phony inspection scams across 7 states. We want to run a controlled op. You in?" I looked down at Bain. He wagged his tail once. "Yeah," I said. "We're in." We set the trap. I left early, like always, made sure the driveway looked empty. Bain stayed behind in a blind spot, his collar camera synced and recording. 3 hours later, right on schedule, a beige sedan rolled up. Vivian stepped out, dressed down this time, windbreaker sunglasses, tote bag. She scanned the yard, thinking she was alone, then pulled out a spray bottle and started misting the fence line, low and deliberate. The audio caught her voice. 3 more farms this week. Older owners, easy sign-offs. Bain didn't move. He just watched, camera steady, capturing every motion. When she got to my porch, she put her hand on the door handle like she'd done it before. That's when he stepped forward just enough for his reflection to flash in the glass. She froze. The phone slipped from her hand. I swear you could feel the moment she realized the story she'd built around herself had just collapsed. She whispered, "We'll reschedule access. Non-compliant property," and backed away. Then Rivera's SUV rolled in. No siren, no drama, just quiet authority. "Vivian Price," he called. "You're under arrest for fraud, trespassing, and obstruction." The tote bag went straight into an evidence bin. Inside, fake badges, chemical bottles, contracts pre-signed with forged notary stamps. It wasn't just my farm she'd targeted, it was dozens across multiple states. Elderly farmers scared into paying for inspections that didn't exist. As they read her rights, I stayed back by the porch. Bain sat beside me, tail still, eyes fixed on her. She looked at him once like maybe she wanted to say something, but nothing came out. Weeks later, the truth hit the local news. Regional HOA fraud ring exposed. She took a plea deal, probation, restitution, a lifetime ban from any HOA leadership. Fitting. The county passed a new ordinance. No HOA can enter private property without a verified government order and a K-9 verification unit on site. Simple, overdue, but it meant something. I went back to my routines, morning runs, coffee on the porch, working the land. People started waving again. Kids even came up to watch Bain during training. But I never forgot how fast one person's lie almost turned an entire community against me. And I'll be honest, there's still a scar there. Every time I hear the word inspection, my stomach knots. Every time someone knocks unannounced, Bane's ears go up. But that's okay. Proof takes time. Justice moves slow. And sometimes the quiet kind of strength, the kind that just holds its ground, is the one that wins. Because the truth doesn't bark. It just waits steady as a trained dog until someone's finally brave enough to call it by name.